Hey guys, what's up? It's Katy and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video, and today we're going to be going over a little bit of a comic book history of Dr. Doom and seeing if that ties in with the Mcoc version of him. Wait, yeah. So Victor Von Doom was the child of gypsy travels in Latveria. Now, when Victor was a child, his mother died in an attempt to summon Mephisto for power. Now, Victor fled with his father after that and discovered his mother's mystical books and artifacts, and in doing so, was able to teach himself sorcery. With the mystic arts, he tried to free his mother's soul from Mephisto, but however was unsuccessful. Doom attended Empire State College after that with Reed Richards, but he was expelled from there for attempting to rescue his mother from Mephisto from a failed experiment that exploded and deformed his face. Now later, he traveled to Tibet and joined a group of monks, and these monks made him his first suit of armor, and then after leaving the monks, Doom returned back to Latveria, gained control over it, and turned it into a thriving nation. Now, we all know that Doom has had multiple run-ins with the Fantastic Four, and one of which he actually teamed up with Namor to fight the Fantastic Four. However, he was defeated and stranded in space where he was rescued by the Oivids. Then Doom later actually teamed up with the Fantastic Four when when Overmind took control of Mr. Fantastic. Now, Doom has had several run-ins with other famous Marvel characters, including the Silver Surfer, where he stole his power cosmic and became one of the most powerful beings on Earth. But his plan was foiled once again by the Fantastic Four because they tricked him into trying to fly outside of the Earth's boundaries, which the boundaries were placed there by Galactus to stop the Silver Surfer from leaving. And probably one of the most famous story arcs for Doom is Secret Wars, in which Doom was kidnapped by the Beyonder and sent to the Battle World, where he quickly began manipulating the events of the series to his own ends. Doom actually used Claw as a way to steal the powers of the Beyonder and Galactus, but the Beyonder stole Claw's body and tricked Doom into giving up his newfound godhood. Now, after the destruction of the multiverse in another story arc, Dr. Doom managed to kill the Beyonders and claims their powers and rules the planet by brainwashing everyone into forgetting their prior worlds. After the heroes realize they're living a lie, they defeat Doom, and Molecule Man gives, quote-unquote, God Doom, is what he referred to himself as, powers to Mr. Fantastic, who heals Doom's face. Now, after Doom sets out to kind of, try to change his ways a little bit, he ends up assisting Tony Stark in defeating Madame Mask. However, during the battle, Tony is in a coma, or after the battle, during the battle, but after the battle, Tony goes into kind of a comatose state from it, and Doom actually takes up the mantle of Iron Man. So now Doom is very well versed in the mystic arts, not only from his mother, but from his time spent with the monks in Tibet and traveling through time, and he learned the lost dark arts. Now, Doom can perform mystical blasts, create a force field, invoke and summon entities, cast spells, teleport, travel through dimensions, create mystic portals, and even control minds. Now, Dr. Doom can also switch his mind with that of another nearby person that he's made eye contact with, but he only uses that as a last-ditch effort. Now, the main thing about Doom 2 is his suit of armor, and with it, he can lift up to 2 tons and is extremely durable since it's made of a high-strength titanium alloy. Now, the outer surface of the armor can also generate a massive electric shock. So now that we know a little bit about Dr. Doom and how he is in the comics, let's take a look and see if his Mcoc version here matches up with how he is in the comics. So if we go ahead and we take a look at the champion spotlight here, When we scroll down and see his strengths, we see that he's got shock immunity and resistant to armor break and armor shatter. So we're seeing more of champs being resistant to armor break and armor shatter. He has the ability to tank special attacks using the aura of Hazarat. He can control opponent buffs through staggering. Landing a heavy attack is one way to do it. Special attack frenzy. Doom's ability to always gain more power for himself than he stole from the opponent allows him to build power very rapidly. And this is always good for a Mystic champ in building that power, especially when you pair it with Mystic Dispersion. Now, his weaknesses, if he has a slow debuff or a petrify debuff on him, he can't activate his aura of Hazarat. He is if he goes against shock or incinerate immune opponents, that's going to be detrimental. And obviously, of course, the lack of buffs to nullify. So Doom's resilient, armor protects him, granting immunity to armor break, armor shatter, and shock effects. Basic attacks, if the opponent isn't already shocked, medium attacks inflict a shock debuff, dealing 148.6 direct energy damage over 2 seconds. While charging a heavy attack, if the opponent is within striking distance and suffering from shock, their shock effects are removed and replaced with a passive stun for 0.6 seconds. This can't trigger during the opponent's special attacks, so that's pretty cool. That's almost like the Quake charges, when you get those on you right before they expire. Let's see, Aura of Hazarat. The Aura of Hazarat can't trigger while Doom is suffering from a slow or petrified debuff and is paused during his special attacks. While active, Special 1 and 2 are unblockable and grant no power. Light attacks grant no power and steal 3% of the opponent's current power, gaining 200% of the power stolen. So that's pretty cool. You've got some power control there. Contact with the opponent has a 30% chance to nullify up to 1 buff. Doom becomes unstoppable and stun immune against the last hit of incoming Special 1, Special 2, and heavy attacks. Additionally, damage received from this hit can't exceed 5% of the opponent's attack. So this Aura of Hazarat is great. It's basically almost like Thing's protection factor. So I really like seeing this in champs. And so let's take a look at his special attacks. Special attack 1, Invocation of Sorcery. Basically, the Aura of Hazarat is activated for 6 seconds and will not trigger if the aura was already active. The first hit of the attack steals 10% of each full power bar of the opponent has, and Doom gains 200% of the power stolen, capping at a maximum of 2 power bars. So this will be good if you get your opponent to a special 3. The amount of power stolen is increased by a flat plus 10% for each full bar of power the opponent has. I can't read. Each beam hit of this attack has a 100% chance to nullify up to 1 buff. And then, so this will be really good for champs that have a lot of buffs. So, your champions, your Angelas, things of that nature. Special attack 2, Cosmic Energy Absorption. Each beam hit has a 100% chance to inflict an incinerate debuff, each dealing 2080.4 direct damage over 5 seconds. So he's got some damage over time, right? He's got shock and he's got incinerate, so that's always good. Special 3 attack. Now, having played him in Uncollected, this is one of my favorite special 3s. Ghosts used to be my special 3, favorite to watch. This one has taken Ghost's spot. Kudos to you, Kabam. I love this special 3. So 100% chance to inflict a passive stun for 2 seconds. The Aura of Hazarat is activated for 12 seconds, and Doom gains a Fury buff, granting 1931.8 attack rating for the duration of the aura, max stacks of 2. This will always refresh at maximum duration whether or not the aura was already active. So this is going to make him hit a little bit harder, and you're going to get a pesky stun at the end. So signature ability, Indomitable Will. Whenever Doom nullifies a power gain buff, he receives 1 for himself, granting 20% of his max power over 3 seconds. If the opponent is already shocked whenever Doom nullifies any buff, they have an 80.39% chance to be inflicted with a shock debuff, dealing 445.8 direct energy damage over 6 seconds. So Doom does need to be awakened. Synergy bonuses, he has 1 with himself. I answer to no one. Solo attack rating is increased by 10% for each knocked out team member, so you don't want to fight him if you've got a knocked out team member. Fantastic Rage with Annihilus and Diablo. Heavy attacks are granted critical hits while the opponent is suffering from a stagger effect. Enhanced Force Field with Mcoc and Red Skull. Dr. Doom gains 15% perfect block chance. That could be all right. Genius Ingenuity with Mr. Fantastic and Doc Ock. Shock and Incinerate debuffs have a plus 20% increased potency. So that's a good one to use for sure. And then we have Sorcery Reversal with Doc Strange and Sim Supreme. Activating the aura of Hazarat has a 50% chance to purify all degen, poison, incinerate, bleed, and cold snap effects. This is a really good synergy. This is like Nick's Restoration Kit synergy. So I really like this one. And then you have this one, Cosmic Overload with Unknown Champ. I'm betting just by the name of this that it is going to be that silver dude who rides a surfboard. Each time the aura of Hazarat is activated, Doom taps into the power Cosmic, gaining a random buff for 8 seconds. Fury increase attack rating by 50%, power rate increase power rate by 15%, and increase armor rating by 50%. So that's going to be another really good synergy for him. And then we have Mystic Tyrants with Morningstar. Successful nullifies deal a burst of energy damage equal to 20% of Doom's attack. That's another really good one. So overall, you know, Doom pretty much matches with how he is in the comics. A lot of his abilities are pretty much the same. They did generate a force field with him, which I think is great, because since he can do that in the comics, I love to see that. Like I said, his special 3 is really awesome. I think he's kind of overhyped, but you know, I do really like him. He is probably going to go crazy high in the arena on Thursday. So good luck to anyone that is grinding for him. I know I will not be. But anyways, guys, that's all that I got. Let me know in the comments below. Will you be grinding for Dr. Doom? Did I miss anything for the comic book history? I know Doom is such a huge factor in the Fantastic Four universe. Did I miss anything? What do you guys think of Doom? Do you think he's overhyped? Let me know in the comments below, and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and hit me up in the Discord chat. Thanks, guys. Bye.